So what, loser buys pizza, you think?
Loser or the winner?
Well, I might go to Fox News. What the heck with
Fox
it,
News, you would probably get a job there too.
Could be.
You think Alex is going to give us, the two of us, roses?
We should give the third one.
Going live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Job you've ever had, huh? Longest unpaying job you ever had.
Yo, loser.
What? Oh, welcome back to Fak'd TV News on Unorthodox Sales. This is Gregory Higgins, and you're turned on and into the only real fake news that matters today. And tonight I'm going to bring you stories on the soon-to-be acquitted Joaquin Guzman, who is, unfortunately for him, one of the biggest victims of the current never-ending flow of fake news, followed by a story on how the Patriots owner Robert Kraft is doing his part to help immigrants to find meaningful work. And fortunately for you, our TV viewers, I have working with me today.
Only today.
Mike Siri, super duper, especially special anchors away, anchor man, with the best stories of the night on how chop, 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 El Chapo is ready to take his place in history as he chops off the endless flow of drug smuggling, rapist, murderer, illegal immigrants in a shocking plea deal arrangement with the Trump government. Followed by my story on how Kraft Food is going to spice up their frozen entrees with some very sexy, sensual, delightfully edible, microwavable, hot, mouth-watering sports time TV dinners. They're so hot they're going to make you want to tear off your clothes and make up a new sport. Now, how can you top stories like that?
Well, I guess I'll have to throw it over to my best anchor man. Take it away, Jeff.
Jeff Semperman here, because you know we have to save the best for last. And the last word belongs right here with me. Greatest fake news floats like a butterfly and slams you down like a gorilla anchorman of this century that will take you straight through into the next galaxy. With my stories on Joaquin Guzman, alias El Chapo, has hired the best, dirtiest, low-down, slimiest, fight like a rabid pit bull in heat Trump lawyers ever assembled in order to try a promising new unorthodox legal defense strategy. Following up with my story on evidence that Patriots owner Robert Kraft may not be the only NFL owner consorting with prostitutes. Why does it seem like all these stories are the same?
I don't know. Oh, that's because there's a competition. What do you mean? That's why they all sound the same. Whoever comes with the best story on their topic wins. And that's the way it should be. We're going to all be going stories. Okay.
No, mumbling isn't going to help you.
Mumbling is not going to help me, but the teleprompter will if it scrolls.
Well, see, dependency on the teleprompter. Hopefully Alex will be
Well, anyway,
that out
Mike,
in his ratings.
You are going to have your chance at the first and best story here about El Chapo. Chop, chop, chop.
Sounds good, Greg. As the obstruction to Trump's new infamous wall becomes more and more bipartisan, the president has named El Chapo as the new security chief in charge of construction. He, Trump, claims that the abilities of El Chapo to escape incarceration would prove to provide an intensive level of experience that could not be broached by even the most sophisticated of attempts. In addition to providing oversight, he would additionally be able to steer the traffickers into the waiting arms of the DEA, thus killing two birds with one stone. We've got to start thinking out of the box, stated the president, or in this case, over the wall. As incentive to El Chapo for agreeing to this, all drug-related charges will be dropped. As for the more serious murder charges, as Trump says, if it's good for the gander, it's good for the goose. Apparently, Kim Jong-un is the gander in this case. And as relief for funding the wall, you can now purchase a brick shaped like a taco with your name and a short message on it to be used in the construction. The cost of this will be determined by Trump when he gets the bill for construction. So, fellow Americans, save your money to help fill the gapo for El Chapo.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. That was a good story, but I don't know if it'll keep up in the competition. We'll see how Jeff goes with his Chapo story.
According to recent reports, Joaquin Guzman, at least one of us knows his real name, the drug kingpin more commonly known as El Chapo, is assembling a new legal team, is rumored to be including several lawyers close to President Donald Trump. According to our inside information from an unknown source, Guzman plans to adopt an unorthodox legal strategy of touting his credentials as the brutal and ruthless head of a large organization while seeking a personal audience to inform President Trump very strongly that he had no knowledge of any violent murders or drug trafficking carried out by the organization. This strategy appears to be based on the Trump administration's precedents set in foreign policy, where those foreign leaders who have established themselves as powerful dictators can be absolved of guilt by telling Trump in a heartfelt and sincere manner that they had nothing to do with the crimes committed against Americans by their nations. The Guzman legal team hopes to extend this approach to non-government organizations such as international crime syndicates, and hopes that Trump will pardon Guzman on the belief that he had no knowledge of the drug trafficking and murders committed by the Sinaloa cartel. This appeared to be a winning strategy even before Trump's recent statement that he trusts the word of North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, that he didn't know about the American student Otto Warmbier being tortured nearly to death by rogue elements of his government. Now, Guzman hopes his legal team can arrange a meeting where he can explain to President Trump how his innocent export and import business was apparently infiltrated by rogue elements who conducted violent drug trafficking operations without his knowledge.
Without his knowledge, yeah, sure.
That's what they'll claim. Hey, Kim Jong-un got away with it.
This is a nice story about heartfelt, sincere crime syndicates in action. Okay.
Good try.
Nice try there, Jeff. And I got my story of El Chapo. The fake news media is trying to claim another victim, just as in the falsely reported supposed assassination and dismembering of American journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Not to mention the faulty indictment of Roger Stone and convictions against Michael Flynn and Paul Manafort. Joaquin Guzman, better known as El Chapo, has been able to point at his recent convictions as being all just fake news and has portrayed himself as an unfortunate victim of the un-United States fake news system that had started inflicting this country during the 2016 presidential election. And in light of these facts, El Chapo has challenged the vicious attack on his character and his credibility as a productive member of society that supplies millions of American drug addicts with their much needed supplies. In retaliation to this media smear campaign, El Chapo has begun to firm up a new law team and has immediately started tunneling his way towards freedom through the use of the appeals process, and it appears that the more appeals will be appearing in the future as they are left on the floor for the prosecuting attorneys to slip and fall on. What can we say? What can we do? How can we proceed and get a conviction on El Chapo? These are the words coming out of the mouths of the prosecuting attorneys. Should habeas corpus still apply in the case of El Chapo? Questions are the answers when bringing up a case showing clear evidence that the only reason for the taking down of El Chapo and his business is because it's taking too big a bite out of the country's opioid business, and that bite is being felt largely by the current politicians bought by pharmaceutical companies and who receive commissions from nationwide opioid sales. No comments, guys? Huh?
No, I think that speaks for itself.
All right, thank you very much.
Reigns,
So I guess you believe in those fake news then. All right, Mike, back to you for your story.
As the NFL reels with shock due to the news regarding Robert Kraft's collusion with prostitutes, another Kraft, namely the food giant, has taken to turning a negative into a positive. They've begun marketing a number of new products with a focus on sex trafficking, hoping to channel people into this new line. Calling these nighttime delights, named after the prostitute who serviced Mr. Kraft, the advertising team at Kraft is hoping these will catch on for Americans in need of a little something extra on their dinner plate. A spokesperson for the advertising team, Miss Jeanette Talia, says that some of the new frozen entrees will include dinners with the names Rob's Pulled Pork My Way, Patty's Backyard Barbecue, and I Can't Believe It's Not Butt. Look for these in your frozen aisle when football season rolls around in September. And in November, get your mouths watering for Tom's Deflated Butterball Turkey with Brady gravy.
Thank you, Mike, for
That one.
for your part of the competition here with the craft food industry. And that brings us to our next part of the competition with Jeff. Take it away.
If reports received by Fak'd TV News are accurate, it appears that the scandal of Robert Kraft soliciting prostitutes may have a much wider reach, extending to other NFL team owners. An inside source reports to us that the New England Patriots owner not only visited brothels disguised as day spas, the brothels were disguised, not Robert Kraft, but hired spies to secretly record other team owners at brothels to get inside information on their plays and techniques. Our unnamed source claims that they first became aware of this when they overheard a conversation between team owner Robert Kraft and NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, who later seized a number of recordings from Kraft's office and destroyed them. From the conversation, it appears that Robert Kraft was self-conscious about his performance at the so-called day spas and sought the advice of Patriots head coach and manager Bill Belichick, who suggested the key to a strong performance was to record the competition and analyze their plays. Belichick reportedly also suggested underinflating the prostitutes. Appears that Kraft did not find this suggestion funny at all and was very offended by it. However, we here at Fak'd TV News are keeping that allegation in mind as we follow this gripping story for any new developments.
Yeah, let's get a grip on this.
Gripping, I think, is probably...
I'm sure there was some gripping involved.
Sure, that nighttime delights are having a much wider reach these days. Thank you, Jeff, for your part of the crafty competition. Next, I am up. Football is magic in the way that the game brings millions of people together with junk food, beer, and camaraderie while having others battling and hating each other through severe rivalry. It's totally magical, a magic that can go on forever. The fierceness of the games is what ignites the fire in the blood and separates hordes of enthusiastic fans from the drudgery of their everyday lives. And after the game's over, there needs to be a time for rest and relaxation. Perhaps a nice massage, bubble bath, shower, or sauna could be there to relieve stress and help chase the post-game blues away. Well, that's where it all begins, when the game ends, or even before it begins. Because Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, has been diligently working on developing and personally testing a system of chasing away those pre-game anxiety and post-game blues with his all-new, soon-to-go nationwide refugee massage parlor franchises. This is it. Right now, you can be included. Sign up and open up your very own Crafty's Happy Ending Massage Parlor and Spa. So don't wait to be included in this program to help refugees to assimilate into society and find productive work. The country is being completely overrun with illegals that are looking to become legal and are willing to work and are happy to please. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, bisexual, trisexual, they're ready for anything. So jump on board and get a start now while the prices are low. Deals like this don't last forever. And with regard to any concerns or of scandals, it should be noted that the video recordings of key officials in the massage parlor was severely illegal and massive lawsuits against the inexperienced Jupiter police will follow. Woo. Top that, guys.
That's pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
Just squeezing more words into the story to make it more long-winded doesn't make for a better story.
Oh, thanks a lot there, long-winded Jeff.
There's an advantage to conciseness.
And now we're all about to go green in our competition, and I'm going to open up the green competition with Mike.
Thank you, Greg. As many have pointed out, the Democrats' Green New Deal will cost money. The amount, which will be generated by taxpayers, remains questionable, and AOC has received a great deal of criticism as a result. Thus, she has proposed a new Green New Deal, which may help to ease the burden on taxpayers as it incorporates elements of free enterprise into the plan. Very simply, all items will be taxed as they are currently, with the exception of those items which are green in color. Those things will remain free of taxation, regardless of income level. Thus, if a person in a lower income bracket needs a new car, they can save money by purchasing a green automobile. When your house needs painting, you may avoid taxation on the labor by merely painting it green. As for food items, well, green vegetables and fruits would remain free of taxation, but now all other foods would be taxed. Thus, this plan would have incentives for people to consider a more healthy vegan lifestyle and reduce their taxability. From the GOP side, many have expressed concern about cash money, since our paper money is in fact green. So should money be taxed, and if so, to what level? In response, AOC suggested that all paper money which an individual has on hand would be untaxed, but all money in the stock market or in offshore accounts would be taxed at the highest level. This would encourage the wealthy to keep more money on hand, more cash money, that is, thus increasing the amount of money in the consumer market. So any way you look at this plan has potential. So please give it some thought, have an ice cream cone, pistachio or lime sherbet, and think green. It's the only way to go. As we move towards St. Patrick's Day, smile and wear some tax-free green.
All righty then. Thank you very much, Mike, with your
Talk to me.
first of the competition green story. And now we're going to turn it over to Jeff with his green deal story.
Fak'd TV News has received a real leaked DNC internal memo that reveals a key detail of how Democrats plan to fund their recently released Green New Deal. As our viewers are no doubt aware, this Democratic plan proposes a dramatic range of efforts to reduce climate change by shifting America away from cheaper traditional energy sources, as well as introducing a number of other expensive changes to American society. Democrats plan to pay for this scheme by increasing taxes on the wealthy in order to avoid any cuts to social programs that they hold dear. But economists analyzing the plan say that there's no way that soaking the rich can cover the estimated 93 trillion with a T, dollar price tag. Well, now with leaked emails reportedly hacked from the account of House Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Fak'd TV News has exclusive evidence of the Democrats' plan to find the green for their Green New Deal. The intercepted emails outline a plan to kidnap foreign multimillionaires and billionaires and make them U.S. citizens so that they can be taxed along with current U.S. ultra-wealthy individuals. The emails indicate that the schemers expect resistance from establishment Democrats, but express optimism that Republican lawmakers and the president will support the plan, since it adopts an America First philosophy that pays no heed to the concerns of lesser countries. Democrats hope that in view of America's letting foreign leaders off the hook for murdering Americans, their governments will reciprocate by holding America blameless when we abduct their citizens and force them to become U.S. taxpayers against their will. With a new crop of multimillionaires and billionaires to fleece, Democrats expect to be able to pay for most of their Green New Deal programs without having to cut existing government payouts to those too lazy to work.
Thank you very much, Jeff. That's very great.
How you do a story on funding the Green New Deal.
Yeah, the way everything works is tax the rich. That's all everybody wants to do.
And if
these
you don't
days.
have enough rich, you just gotta get more of them.
Got to get more rich people in here, that's for sure, because we can't tax everybody, all the rich guys. They don't like that too much anyway. Anyway, enough of my mumbling and bumbling. My new Green Deal. The Green New Deal, if it goes through, is going to be a green moldy deal that will cost us all a tremendous amount of green and misery. It has been proven by mycologists around the world that the only true way to save the planet right now is not by going green. Going green is already proven to be a thing of the past. The most recent studies using state-of-the-art computer modeling and prediction algorithms have found that the future of the planet, the surefire way to save the planet is through growth of fungi. The planet can now be saved by planet-wide farming of carbon dioxide and airborne particle-consuming spore-emitting fungi. Just imagine this. The planet can be saved by clouds of mold spores as they float across the Earth's inner atmosphere, consuming carbon dioxins and toxic airborne particles that will then be washed down by the rain, only to consume leftover petroleum products from cars, trucks, leaking oil pipelines, and oil tankers. And they'll also be happy to consume all of the manure our cows and cattle can poop out, leaving behind nothing but clean, fresh air and more mold and spores to do the work cleaning the planet. So this is the real story. Green is not the way to go. Mold is the way to go in order to save the planet and ourselves. So go out there, celebrate by consuming all the fast food burgers and steaks you can possibly handle, and burn all the gas you want, because super spores are on their way and they're coming to save the day. Hallelujah! That's it for my green story. How do you like that? For green. Ha! Well, that's it for our show. Did you have something to say?
No, I'm all set.
Okay. Well, that's it for our show. This is Gregory Higgins, and I'd like to thank you for taking your time to watch our news tonight. So you guys at home, ladies and children of all ages, sizes, colors, and ethnicities, when the story is too good to wait for the facts, we here at Fak'd TV News and our unorthodox sales brings you the news as we see fit. May you all enjoy a good, clean life, and remember to be honest, that the spirit that lives within you. Have a great day and a good night until next time. Mike, could you say good night?
Good night, everybody. Enjoy your life.
And Jeff, could you say good night?
Good night, everyone. Yeah, even Mike could have done that ending thing better. That should have been a part of the competition.
Without a doubt, Mom.
I think Mike's gonna be cut. I don't know. That's how I'm seeing it just from tonight.
Horses were beggars, wishes would fly. How does that go?
Guys,
Wishes were horses, we'd all be eating steak.
Give him the steak.
that was pretty good, guys. But just so you know, the Vermont Human Rights Council called me up and said it was a little harsh for me to make you guys perform
right.
a competition. So with that said, I did handcraft some amazing trophies for you. I did it myself while you guys were doing a show. There you go. Look at that. Look at that artistry right there.
Outstanding
There you go.
participation.
You should be more
There you
gentle
go.
with my
Yourself
trophy.
a pat on the back. You know.
Yeah.
And on the breast.
And there you go.
You get a little
Well, why does
pat
Greg
on
get the
chest.
star and the pentagon, and
I like
Mike and I
stars.
get triangles and circles? That's a bit
Satanic.
fair.
Makes sense that I got the star in the heart. That totally makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that is great. But we still need our viewers to contact their elected representatives to tell them to oppose proposed FCC docket 05-311 rule that would allow cable companies to offset their in-kind services against the PEG franchise fees, tremendously reducing funding for public access TV, and that's not fake news.